What's up, everyone? Today we're continuing talking about Terraform for beginners, and we're going to look at two things you can use to create multiple resources that are of the same type. We're going to take a look at count and for each within our resource definition. As always, I'll have this code pushed out into my GitHub repository, and I've got a link to that down below, as well as a link to this playlist with all of our beginning Terraform videos. My name is Jeff. This is Jeff Brown Tech. Let's go ahead and get started. Here we are out in Visual Studio Code. I won't go over an overview of what we've covered so far. I've been doing that the last couple of videos. So if you're new to this one, go check out the playlist and maybe, go take a look at one of the earlier videos there. But I'm going to get started here with talking about the count meta argument. What this allows you to do is just specify how many of a resource that you want to create, if they're the same resource or, very, very similar. To demonstrate also, I've got a new file over here called files.tf. I'm just illustrating here that you don't have to put all your Terraform code into one single TF file. You can have multiple as long as they're in the same root directory. Like here, this is TF demo. When you run Terraform plan and apply and all that fun things, it will take all of these and merge everything together basically and put them together and deploy everything at once. I've got a new file here called files.tf, and then I brought back my terraform.tf vars for providing values to my variables that we'll be taking a look at later on. Okay, first let's take a look at the count meta argument here, and I'm going to uncomment this code here. I've already kind of typed out everything just so you have to see me try to type this out and figure it out. But again, we've got our resource definition here. We are just creating local files. The name of this, the canonical name or kind of alias here is count files. And I'll skip this for just a second on the count, but again, the same thing here. We have file name and content, defining our file, what we want it to look like, just a couple of basic things here. But we have our new argument here called count equal to 3, just telling Terraform, I want you to create 3 of this resources. Now, in most cases, you probably have to make them unique in some way. In this case, we can't have a file name with the same file name. It has to be unique and everything. One way to do that is inside my file name variable definition here. I now have access to a new, variable or maybe environment variable or something like that. I don't know what you would quite call this, but it's called count.index. And what this does is keeps track of what count it's on when it's going to create this resource. In this case, we're going to see 1, 2, and 3. So as we go through each of our resource definitions here, or as it's creating them, this value will change from 1 to 2 to 3, and that will give us unique file names. Okay, with our count definition here all created, let's go ahead and bring up our terminal window here, and let's just do a quick Terraform plan to take a look at what it's going to do here. We immediately see we're going to have 3 things we're going to add. Let's go take a look at them, scroll to the top here. And first we can see what does this look like in terms of Terraform. How's Terraform storing it inside of its state file and everything? We have local file .count files, which is the name of our resource. And then we see, square brackets here and 0. What this is saying here is we're going to have multiple of these local file .count files resources. And we have a list or an array basically. And we need to identify this specific one that we're creating first. And that's going to be sitting at index 0. And if we take a look down in our resource definition, we can see our file name is going to be count 0 because that's the first one in our count here. Now you may be wondering, why is it not 1? It must, it's the whole thing of arrays or everything like that. We start at index 0. So even though we specified 3 here, and I guess I incorrectly stated this earlier that it was going to be count 1, 2, and 3. In fact, it's going to be count 0, 1, and then 2. So a little mistake on my part there, but hopefully you're getting the general idea. This index is just incrementing as we go through our count. If we continue to scroll down, we can see the next one is going to create. It's going to be at index 1, and it's going to be count 1 for our file name, and so on down to count files 2. And let's go ahead and apply this. I'm going to do the auto approve so I don't have to say yes or anything like that. And it's gone through and created our resources here. If we expand out the data folder, we have count 0, 1, and 2. And if we go look inside, they all have the same content here. And that matches up with our definition. We could have said files creating using count and maybe what index it was at that time, which would have matched up with the file name. No issue there. You can also modify this count index. Let's say we did want it to start at 1. I think I can go in here and just say +1. Let's go ahead and save that. Let's do a quick Terraform plan. And since we are changing the name of it, we'll just take a look at this one down here. Since this is the last one it was working with, it's going to change count2 to count3. In this case, it's going to delete the file and then recreate it here. So let's actually take a look at that real quick. Let's do an auto approve again. And now we can see our count is actually 1, 2, and 3 instead of 0, 1, and 2. And if we take a look at our index names here, you can see index 2 is actually count 3. That's helpful if you want to change your count index to maybe match up or not start at 0. You can start it at +1. Maybe you want to do something weird and do +2 and have it do evens all the way up. I don't know. Never ran into a situation like that, but you can manipulate the count index if you want to. In fact, I'm going to just go back and change that back to our original here, and let's auto approve and get that back to 0, 1, and 2. Count is a very easy way to make multiples of a resource, but you are kind of limited. You have to put the count index somewhere if you need to, do a unique name or anything like that. Each of these are pretty much going to have the same type of content in it. But let's take a look at another way to create multiple files, and that is using the for each meta argument here. Before we do that, let's actually go over and take a look at our variables file here. And I have a new variable that I've defined here called data file names. And this brings in a new type of variable type or data type that we didn't talk about previously. And that is a list. And the list is just that. It's a list of items down through here. And in this case, this list is going to contain strings. If we go look at our Terraform TFRs, now that I've defined this variable, I need to give it a value at runtime here. And I'm going to do that by passing it in through my terraform.tfrs file. And if we take a look here, my list of strings to define my data file names is data1, 2, and data3. So again, here you can see we are, potentially bypassing the count issue that we had before where we had to manipulate the index if we wanted to. This would be also super helpful if we wanted to do this like data 99 or just a more random set of file names here. So now I've got my variable defined. I've given it a value. Let's go use this variable inside of our configuration here. And I have that example right here. Again, we're calling this one data files inside of Terraform. We've got file name and content. And we have for each here. Now first, if you want to reference a variable, use the var and then dot and then the name of the variable. In this case, we do have another function here called toSet. ToSet just takes a list of items like this and changes it into a set data type. This is because the for each requires a set or a map, which we will see here in a little bit with our next example, to make sure the for each is always consistent. It gives it unique keys to be able to track the resources. And we'll see what that looks like when we go through and do our plan and apply. And in this case, as we go through, you can see in our file name here, I'm setting the file name to each.value. We're iterating through and each value is going to be these right here, data 1, 2, and 3. And then inside my content, I'm saying this is the content for, and then also referencing the value as we iterate through our list here. Let's see what this looks like in practice. Go ahead and bring up our terminal window here. Let's do another Terraform plan. And we can see the changes it wants to make here. Let's go back up to the top. Notice in this case, we have our Terraform name here that we're tracking it by, but instead of a 0, 1, or a 2, an index, we have a more named index, and that is data1. And that's what that toSet does. It goes through and creates a map of your resources here. And in this case, it's taking this value here and just giving it an identifier of data1. And then we can see down in our file name here, data1. And then we have data2, and that gives us our file name, and so on and so forth. So again, the toSet is giving us this index value here. That way, Terraform can keep track of the resource it's creating, just like it is doing with 0, 1, and 2 on our count indexes earlier. All right, let's go ahead and I'm going to bring this back up and just do an auto approve. Over on the left, we can see it just created our 3 data files here. And if we go look in their content, we can see this is the content for data 1, data 2, and data 3. We're able to inject a unique value in there inside of our file contents. Okay, so that's doing for each using a list, which then we had to convert to a map using the toSet function here. Another way to do this is with a mapping. And with this mapping, what we're going to do is be able to generate even more unique content for each of our files here. Let's go take a look at our variable definition here. We have data objects map. This is a map of objects, and our object is going to have just our content equals string. We'll see where the file name comes from here in just a second here. And then let's go over and take a look at the value we are going to set for this. And in this case, we are basically defining our own key. So earlier we saw data 1, 2, and 3. Well, that's what we're doing right here with our map of objects. This particular object, the map or the key for it, the name for it is going to be data file 1. And then inside of our curly brackets here for our object, we're setting the content we want for our file. Then we have data file 2, and it has completely different content. If you notice so far, when we've been creating these, the content is always the same, but maybe we changed one word because it was the index or something like that. But in this case, we are going to set completely different contents for the 2 different files. Let's go back and take a look at our files here. And let me uncomment our example here. And in this case, we're looking at data list is not quite right. Let's look at data map. Let me rename that here. Now, in this case, as you'll notice inside of our for each, we can just reference the variable because it's already of a map type. We don't have to do the toSet to convert from a list to a map. And if we take a look at our file name, we're doing each.key. The key in this case refers to the key or the name that we've assigned to our object here. This is going to be data file 1 and then data file 2. And then we're referencing each.value. That's each.value of inside of our for each. So as it's looping through, and then we're looking at a specific property called content, which we can see right here that we have defined inside of our object. Let's go ahead and take this and clear out our screen. Go ahead and do another plan and go and take a look. Again, we have local file.datamap. Inside of it is data file. That's the name we specifically gave it inside of our mapping. And then we have data file 1, and then we have different contents here on each one that we create. So let's bring this back up. We'll do auto approve on our plan. Take this back out, and we have data file 1 has its content, and then data file 2, entirely different content that was defined within our variable. All right, so that does it for this video. Pretty much just want to give an introduction to count and for each. You might run into issues when you run for each. It might error on you and say, your variable isn't of a correct type or anything. It's usually what I run into because I forget I have to either convert it to a set or you have to have it as a map or something like that. Down in the video description, I'll also link to a blog article I wrote many years ago about how to avoid index issues. And it has some examples of taking a list or something like this and converting it. But you run into issues when you have to go through and if you add something to the list in an incorrect order. Like in this case, if we come in here and someone's not paying attention and they say data 4, and let's do a Terraform plan. Terraform is able to handle that very easily. It'll come through and just say, I'm going to create data 4 here, one thing to add. It doesn't have to go through and recreate these. It doesn't have to go, oh, wait, these are out of order. Let me delete 2 and 3, and then I'll create data 4 and then data 2 and data 3. You can run into weird indexing issues like that if you don't have your variables set up correctly, or if you do something inside of your for each to convert it and just messes it up. It can create a lot of heartburn and not be very fun. So take a look at that article down below in the video description. I think that'll help you out if you ever run into an issue like that, or if you see examples of code like that, because you run across that consistently over several years of working with Terraform and different code examples that other people have written. Anyway, that does it for this video. Hope you found it useful. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.